You wanna know what I'm into? We can start with a blindfold. You know the love goes deep, baby. Tell me what you in for.
Hey guys, what is up? Let's jump right into this super easy step-by-step foundation routine. The very first thing I always have to do is prep my skin and prime it. So I'm first going to moisturize, and I have combination to normal skin, so I can play around with moisturizers. I have two favorites. I have the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base that I use on my regular skin days, and then when my skin's a little bit drier, I like to use the Glossier Moisturizing Primer. Both of them are amazing, but today I decided to grab the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It gives me this nice smooth canvas. It moisturizes but also smooths my pores, and it's just a great base before makeup to really get my skin hydrated and plump and ready for application. So on top of that, I like to still apply a primer. My all-time favorite is the Armani Fluid Master Primer. It is super expensive, but it's amazing. I did want to add a drugstore alternative. The Maybelline Master Prime is also really good, but my top pick is this Armani primer. You guys, it literally just smooths onto my skin so nice and seamlessly. It's great for all skin types. It's going to smooth your pores while also just making your skin nice and plump. Primer is so important to get that nice, flawless foundation application. So the next step, of course, is to apply the base, the foundation. I have a few favorites I wanted to share with you guys to give you some options. I love the Fenty Pro Filter. I'm in the shade 420. I love Too Faced, the Born This Way foundation. I'm in Spiced Rum. I love the NARS Natural Radiant. I'm in Mocao. And the one I'm going to be using today, which is my all-time favorite, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and I'm in the shade Sandalwood. So my major key for my flawless foundation application is this skin enhancer. It's the Nude Air Luminizer by Dior. Super pricey, but you guys, it literally makes my foundation look amazing. It's kind of like a liquid highlighter. I just like to mix it in with my foundation. I put the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I just apply a few of the drops of the skin enhancer on top of it, and I like to mix it together using my foundation brush. My favorite foundation brush at the moment is the Sigma F80 flat Kabuki brush. I love thick and dense brushes like this because it just packs the foundation on so nice. I don't typically like to use a sponge or any other type of foundation brush. Like, I love Kabuki brushes, dense, thick brushes that are going to pack that foundation onto my skin. Just a quick tip too, you want to also always make sure that you drag your foundation down your neck so it matches with your face. I also like to just take a dense eyeshadow brush and just mix in the foundation around my brows to make sure that the concealer blends seamlessly, and I like to take a little bit of the foundation and apply it on my lids so that way everything just matches on my face. I always do my brows before my foundation for this very reason. This helps to get rid of those halo brows, and it just blends it nice and easy. So after the foundation, I like to conceal and contour. This is to help add dimension and depth to the face. So the concealer that I swear by, that I cannot live without, is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm in the shade Caramel, and I like to use this to highlight. It's usually about 3 shades lighter than my foundation color because I want to use this to brighten under my eyes, brighten on my forehead, and also down my nose and on my chin. And this just helps, like I said, to add dimension to the face. After highlighting with a lighter color concealer, I like to go in with a darker concealer and contour. So when I want to have like a slight snatch, I like to use the Fenty Matchstick in Truffle. It's kind of like a dark brown but not super dark. And then when I really want to be snatched, I like to use the Sephora Make No Mistake stick, and this is in the color Mahogany. This one's a lot darker, so it really adds depth to my skin. I like to use this when I really want to be snatched. So today I was feeling fancy. I decided to go for super snatch, so I'm going to grab that Sephora Make No Mistake stick, and I'm just going to apply this right down my cheekbone. You can make the little fish face so you can see where to apply it. And then I also like to frame my forehead, and then I also apply it to my chin. To blend this all out, I'm going to grab my MAC Fix Plus and just apply it to a damp beauty blender. Just squeeze out the excess water and excess product, and then begin blending. I like to use one side of the beauty blender for the lighter parts on my face, And then once I'm done blending the lighter parts, then I will grab the Beauty Blender again. I'll turn it around, spray some more Fix Plus, and then I'll use that side to blend out the darker colors, just to make sure that those colors don't get too mixed up on my skin. Of course, you are going to blend it no matter what, but it just makes it better and a lot more seamless if you use one side for the lighter areas and one side for the darker areas. So once I'm all done contouring and concealing and everything, then I'm ready to set everything in place with powder. So this also helps to prevent oil. I like to use a translucent powder. My two favorites are the translucent powders by Mercier. I like to use the regular one for super highlighting days, and then the dark one for days when I just want like a normal type of beat. Since I'm going for a more snatched look today, I am going to grab the lighter one. I like to just apply it with my Beauty Blender, and I personally do not bake. I just like to press the powder into my skin. And then once I have the powder pressed in as much as I can on my highlighted areas, so really just under my eyes, on my chin, and of course on my forehead where I put the lighter concealers. If you have more oily skin, you might find it beneficial to bake with more powder, but I just use very little to prevent too much caking on my skin. And I also like to just drag it down my contour area to help make it look a lot more chiseled. You can really see that contour popping out when you add the powder underneath. So next, to get rid of the excess translucent powder, I like to go in with a compact powder. My favorite one ever is the Sephora Microsmooth powder, and I love to use the IT Cosmetics Airbrush powder brush just to apply this on the translucent areas to get rid of that excess powder and to just add more color to my skin to make sure that I don't have that weird white cast. This powder brush is amazing. It smooths on the skin so well, and in combination with this powder, you guys, my skin just looks like butter. And as you guys can see, I'm just gently wiping away that excess powder that I have under my eyes, under my contour areas, on my forehead, and of course on my chin. So last but not least, I love to warm up the skin with some bronzer. My all-time favorite bronzer is the Bobbi Brown bronzer, and it's in the shade Dark. You can apply bronzer with any fluffy brush. I just like to use the Real Techniques powder brush. And as you guys can see, this bronzer gets used a lot. It's literally hitting the pan. I'm just going to take a little bit, swirl it around on the brush. I'll tap off the excess. And then I just apply bronzer to the places that I contoured. So on my cheeks, both sides. And then I also like to take the bronzer kind of to frame my head and also down my chin, just so my entire face looks a little bit warmed up. So to set all these powders and to help them melt into my skin, I love to use the MAC Fix Plus. And this is the rose one. I love the rose. It smells so freaking good. And as you can see, after you apply the Fix Plus, the skin just looks nice and dewy and the powders just mesh into the skin. So that's pretty much it for the foundation portion. I just like to follow up with my highlighter. Today I decided to use Gold Deposit by MAC, one of my favorite highlighters ever. And then of course I'm going to apply some blush to my cheeks. I like using this Sephora blush palette. I love using the pink colors combined. I'm going to go ahead and just apply some eyeliner. This is the Sephora Glidliner in the color Black. And then of course I'm going to apply some mascara to my bottom lash line. I have on minks on the top lashes right now, so I'm not going to apply mascara there. Then I just decided to go with a nice nude lip. I'm using the NARS Lipliner in the color Spunk first. As my lip color, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Ultra Matte Highly Pigmented Nude Lip in the color Ultra Nude. And I'm using just a regular lip brush for this to help make that ombre effect. And then as my lip gloss on top, I'm using the MAC Grand Illusion Glossy Liquid Lip Color. So that is pretty much it. As you guys can see, the focus for this look was the skin, so I could show you the foundation routine. So it's very simple and very natural. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. All of the products that I used will be linked down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and give this video a thumbs up. And hopefully I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!